Well, we're raising money to help support projects around the world. Project C.U.R.E. delivers medical supplies and equipment to about 131 countries, all in the developing part of the world. And so what we do is we do events that help us to raise the $20,000 for a semi-truck trailer of medical supplies. What's in that trailer is about $450,000 worth of needles, syringes, gloves, beds, CAT scan units, all of that kind of stuff. And we ship it and deliver it to the people who, they work for 12 hours and they make about $1 a day.
Wow. Wow. Are they indigenous to the territories, or are they?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes they're refugees, sometimes they're, people there. But we partner with a hospital or a clinic or an area that, that they need work and work with those people right there on the ground.
Wow, that's incredible.
Thank
so
you.
This event is to support that.
Right. It's to raise a little bit of money to, people can get involved and they can donate $25 and that sends a box of medical supplies worth about $500 anywhere in the world. So people can get involved and say, I want to do one of those every month, right? People can get involved and support a pallet. They can ship an entire 4x4x4 pallet. So all of the proceeds that we do from this race today will be going to raise money to ship medical supplies.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Very good cause. And can you tell me, how did Global Med become one of the racing teams?
We've got a mutual friend, John Rang, and he said, hey, you guys got to get together because you're doing a lot of things that are overlapping. And so we thought that was going to be a really fun thing. So I'm thrilled that Global Med's coming out. It's going to be great.
Yeah. And can you tell me who the other participants are?
We've got a whole group of very interesting people. There's a fellow that started, he's racing with me. He started the bicycle company called Niner.
Oh, okay.
And invented the 29-inch mountain bike. Got another guy, C.U.R.E. Chuck is a writer and author that writes murder mysteries all over the world. And so it'll just be a whole fun, really interesting group of people that will be there today, all doing something good.
Very cool. Very cool.
Thank you.
And what is the biggest need Project C.U.R.E. has or sees right now?
Well, we have three needs that we work on all the time. We need volunteers. We need people to come to the warehouse, and there is a warehouse here in Tempe, and people can come and help us there. We've got 16 different cities across the United States, and people can just log on to our website and find out where they can get involved. We also need medical supplies and equipment. We're always looking for everything from, needles and syringes, the leftover stuff after a procedure, to things like, crutches. What do you do if you twist your ankle and you got the crutches left over, right? Well, we can move those to places where people don't have those. So any of those kind of things. And then, of course, the funding to make sure that all the stuff that we collect, we can get there. Every time we raise a nickel, we deliver $1. And so even a little bit counts.
Wow. What is your vision for Project C.U.R.E.?
Well, ultimately, the vision for us is to put ourselves out of business, right? We don't want to create dependency on Project C.U.R.E., so we're trying to provide the resources to people who are actually working, the doctors and the nurses, so that they don't need us anymore. That's the perfect scenario. Until then, there's a lot of need. So we would like to have big distribution warehouses like the one we have here in Tempe, all over the United States. We have 4 now: Denver, Phoenix, Nashville, and Houston. We've started in Chicago. We've got funding to start in Philly with big ones. We've got little warehouses from Ithaca to Sarasota, all the way out to Portland, Oregon, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Lexington, Kentucky, and all of these places. And so our vision is to continue to accumulate all of the stuff that we have so much of in this country, and to give it to people who really, truly are dying without it.
Right. And some of the places that you reach are...
We're in almost every country in Latin America. We've covered probably 70% of all the countries in Africa. We're in 6 of the 7 stands. We're not in Turkmenistan, but that's the only one we haven't worked in. We're in Asia. We're in the former Soviet. Just literally 131 places around the world.
Wow. How can companies in the healthcare space help your organization? We are a little different, but how have you seen companies helping?
Well, everything that Project C.U.R.E. does is always a partnership between ourselves, maybe a funding organization, a delivery, healthcare delivery organization, the indigenous hospitals, the clinics, things like that. So it's kind of a fun thing to sit down and say, okay, here's what we have in common. And, we just had a great conversation with your team here at Global Med about what does it look like to provide telemedicine into places in countries where they don't have a doctor at all, right? People just can't get there. So there would be some fun things around that. Manufacturers, what if you change your product and you now have a warehouse full of product that you're really not going to sell because you got the next generation? We'll take it and move it to people where it will save lives. And so there's a lot of different ways we can get involved.
And just tying into that, have you seen technology change the way healthcare is administered to the populations that you help? Oh yeah, technology is changing so much. When we first started, we would be in villages like in Nigeria where they had one telephone pole. And there was a phone on the pole for the whole village. Wow. You go back to that village today, everybody has an iPhone or a Droid or something, right? And it's just amazing to watch what's happening with the rest of the world and the tech revolution, which is just like skipped over whole generations of technology and they're on to the next thing. And the same thing is with healthcare. And it's exciting. But you definitely see technology helping these populations that you're reaching right now. Technology is going to change everything. The idea that you could be in a remote village in the middle of, let's say, Iquitos, Peru, on the Amazon River, and you could have your doctor live anywhere. He could live in Madrid, Spain, or they could be in Los Angeles, California, or here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and you get access to all that care. I mean, it is truly the ultimate in democratizing the world, right? Everybody gets access to the same stuff. That is cool. Right. Well, thank you so much. It's been great to meet you. It's great to talk to you. We're excited to be part of that race for a good cause. That'd be fun. Glad you're there. Thanks. Thank you.